Hi everyone, this is Noelle from Petitti Garden Center in Oakwood Village, and we're talking about houseplants. It's gray outside, why not bring some nature inside the house, fill your home with houseplants. Today we're going to talk about bright light plants. So again, these are plants that are great near windows or just back from the windowsill. Do be careful if it's a window that has a little bit of breeziness to it or cold. So never push your houseplants against the cold windows, okay? But these will do very, very well in a bright lit room. And they actually don't need direct sunlight on them. So even if you have northern exposure windows or you have small windows or what have you, they just need bright light, a well-lit area to really grow well in. As you can tell, there's a lot of color here. So now we're getting into a light range where many plants can start to bloom and do a nice job and create good colorful space for us. So of course we have the Phalaenopsis orchid. This is a moth orchid, very easy to grow. It's really a beginner's orchid, and it really does appreciate lower light levels at this time of year. So this is a great plant or orchid to try and start growing orchids with. You'll want to try that one, okay? Soil on the drier side of watering, but typically you water it about once a week, moisten the bark or the soil or moss that it's in, and then go from there. They like high humidity too, so you can go ahead and spray mist them. I've got the bromeliad that I've mentioned before. This is one of your easiest bright indirect light plants. The reason being is this foliage will stay colorful for up to about a year. And then you'll start to see the foliage fade a bit, but boy, does it give off a lot of color in the room. The one that I have back here is the jade plant, and jade plants are a classic succulent. So they really appreciate bright lighting. They don't need direct sunlight, however, they can tolerate it, and drier soil. So if you're one of those people that doesn't water a lot, look for the succulent family, okay? Smaller succulent that we have down here is an echeveria. Echeverias are your, what we call an annual or an annual hens and chicks, sometimes we call them. And they're really, really easy, again, bright light to direct sunlight, and they, again, want to be drier soil-wise. This guy in the middle is actually a Chinese, sometimes they call it a Chinese water plant, sometimes it's associated with money, so it's sometimes called a Chinese money tree, and it has to do with their trunk and their leaves and so forth. This plant, believe it or not, is really appreciative of moister soils. You'll find them as a bonsai, you'll find them in normal growers' pots too, but if you can keep the soil on the moist side, they'll really appreciate it and do very well. Down below, we have the relative of the bromeliad. This is the air plant or Tillandsia, and they do very nicely in a bright area. Just spray mist them. They'll be very happy about once or twice a week. They'll do nicely. This unique one, and it's kind of coming on the scene here, this is an Anthurium or Flamingo plant, flamingo flower sometimes that you hear it called. This plant is very unique in the respect that it produces a lot of color. It has what we call a spathe flower, just like the peace lily and the Chinese evergreen. And they really don't appreciate bright, direct sunlight. You've got to watch out because the leaves will burn. So a bright, indirect light is perfect for them. They produce beautiful flowers, and really keeping them on an evenly moist watering schedule is really, really great. This guy is a sago palm. Most of your palms fall into that brighter light category. So most of the palms, including the sago, which is a nice sort of short, stocky palm, has more of a succulent look and feel to it, is a great example of the palms in general. Most of them would be very appreciative of brighter light levels and some direct sun as well. This one down here is a Croton. Earlier I had mentioned when talking about different light level plants that the more colorful the pigments are in the foliage, the more light it's going to appreciate. And your Croton is one of those typical plants that has a lot of different colors in the leaves. You see oranges, reds, yellows, all in this same plant. And you'll find if it's in too low of light, you'll just lose that coloration. So make sure you keep it in a brighter, again, brighter indirect light area, and it'll do really really well and keep those nice, beautiful pigments and lovely foliage there for you. Okay. Bright light plants, if you have a great window in the office, you can place them near that window. If you have a nice sunny room in the house, you can go ahead and put them on a dining room table or an end table, and they'll do very, very well with lots of light, again, indirect light, and a brightly lit room, okay? Enjoy.